Good afternoon, everyone. So, something that's been brought up for me within the past week or so has been this idea of letting go, and specifically, how do you let go? And are there specific things that you can do or practical steps that you can take to let things go? Something's been brought up for me from the past, which I realized I haven't actually dealt with. In essence, I've struggled with some chronic pain in my quad for 4.5 years now, ever since I had my second knee surgery. And part of chronic pain could potentially be some toxins or bad memories that we have stored in our body. I thought that it was my past relationship that I was potentially holding in there, but I realized that it wasn't that. It was actually another female figure in my life, and someone who I looked up to a lot, who was a mentor figure, and who in probably my greatest time of need, when I reached out to her, wasn't there. And last week I had a situation come up for me where those feelings were brought up again, and I realized that I really hadn't dealt with those feelings from the past, and I still felt those feelings very strongly. And the feelings I'm talking about are the feelings of betrayal and pain and disappointment. And I completely understand that, when we feel emotional hurt, it's because that we had expectations of someone else and those expectations weren't fulfilled. And I wholeheartedly take responsibility for that. But I still don't understand how to let go of that pain from the past. I don't think I've ever been more let down by a single human being in my life. And I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with letting those feelings go. And I like to think of myself as someone who's quite understanding. And that's probably one of the reasons why I do think so much. And I've been coined as an overthinker my entire life. But what I found is that when I can think about things, when I analyze it and I can come to an understanding, then I can gain clarity on the situation. And understanding to me allows for alignment to occur. And once alignment occurs, then peace can ensue and you essentially can move on. And I guess what I'm struggling with in this situation is that I don't understand. I was never offered that explanation. And that's something in life that I think is a lesson we're never taught. How do you accept an apology that you never receive? How can you move on from something that you'll never be able to understand? Again, I try to think of myself as quite compassionate, and I do consider things from other people's perspectives. But I guess for me, I'm so caught up in my pain and the hurt of betrayal and disappointment, I can't see past that. And I think one of the reasons that we still feel pain is because there's still lessons for us to learn. And so for me, I guess the question I ask is, what lesson do I need to learn from this situation? Why is this pain still here, and how can I grow from it? If we're in pain, it's because of how we're perceiving a situation. So I guess the question is, how can I perceive this differently? Can I get to a place of compassion and understanding of what this person did and her actions in order for me to move on? Because I do want to move on. But on that token, is that something that we do with our head, or is that something that we do with our heart? Because we can convince ourselves of, I'm over it, I'm done with it, it's time to move on. But I don't know whether we can trick that with our heart. If you break up with a partner, you can tell yourself, I'm done with the relationship and everything, and convince yourself mentally. But for anyone that's tried to move on from someone, it's not something you can do necessarily consciously. I think that it's something that you have to feel in your heart. And I think that comes from acceptance of the situation, which in turn comes from understanding the situation. Anyway, that's a little bit of my 2 cents worth on letting go. And a quote, ironically, that I have in my bedroom is, in the end, what matters most is how well did you live, how well did you love, and how well did you learn to let go? So if anyone has any thoughts or feelings on this topic, feel free to comment on this video. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye.